Hello and welcome back to Open Air. My name is John and this is the third week of this 5-week meditation series. This week I'm talking about precision, which is the second of the 3 qualities I introduced in the first week as things that are innate but that our mindfulness practice is developing or ripening. The first of those was gentleness, which I talked about last week. Gentleness and precision work together really well in our mindfulness practice. And precision itself can be thought of as a kind of accuracy or exactness in what we're doing. In that way, you can see how it might even be applied to gentleness. To be gentle can be to be precise. To be precise about being gentle. Precision in our mindfulness practice can come through in a number of ways and is always in service to the practice helping us to become more familiar with our experience and to become more present. The quality of precision can be talked about in terms of tuning in. And I'll use 2 metaphors here to try and demonstrate that point. The first is the idea of tuning our musical instrument. In an ensemble, an orchestra, and a band, we need to tune our musical instrument so that we're making a sound that works for the music we're trying to play. It also means that we're playing sounds that are in harmony with the other musicians. In terms of tuning our radio station or tuning the old TVs, we're tuning in a way that leads to the clearest picture or sound. In both of these metaphors, tuning is a gentle process as well as a precise process. The turning of the dial or the slight adjustment to the way that our instrument is set up. In both situations, there's also effort and method involved. And so it's a good reminder this week to be aware and to take another look at what the instructions of this practice are. It's something I do myself and sometimes find that I haven't been doing. I am someone who likes meditation and mindfulness, who has experienced the benefits, and as a result is kind of a nerd about it. I like to read lots of books, and I like to listen to lots of podcasts, and I like to just kind of experiment with the practice itself. What I've found is that sometimes this can lead to a lot of conceptualization about the practice, thinking about what's better or worse, what's a higher or lower manifestation of the way things are unfolding, what is productive or unproductive, what was a good use of my time, what wasn't a good use of my time. A lot of comparing can come into what I'm doing. When I'm precise, I remember that the practice is about being present, about returning to the breath and noting thoughts as thinking. In that way, I've really experienced benefit in simplifying my practice and becoming more accurate about what I'm doing, and to not fill my head so much with lots of theory, but instead to actually get to my cushion and practice the 3 steps, the instructions of the practice, which in themselves are very precise. So, let's talk about how we can bring precision into our practice. In our practice, the first thing to be precise about is whether we're actually practicing. I know it can be difficult to get to the cushion or seat. It's something I've struggled with myself. And yet, it's always good to remember that we can begin again. If we miss a day, we can start the next day. If we haven't been practicing, to just begin again. When we actually get to our seat, when we're sat down on our cushion or chair, bench, to actually be doing the practice, to be practicing, is the next place to be precise. We can find ourselves sitting down and comparing this sit to the previous sit, or wondering about how the sit is going, or planning our next big adventure, or wondering what we're going to have for dinner. Many things can be happening, but to be precise is to remember the instructions, to place our attention on the breath, and when our mind has wandered, to return to the sensations of breathing, labeling thoughts as thinking. In being with the breath, in being present with the breath, we're strengthening the quality of precision in our practice. In returning to the breath, we're also doing that. And in labeling our thoughts as thinking, we're also being precise. An additional layer or level of precision we can add, if we need to, is to label a second time thinking if we notice that the first labeling is particularly harsh or aggressive. All in all, precision is a great partner or companion to gentleness, and those two things together are really going to help us in terms of letting go. I'll leave you now with a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, which is, "If we miss the present moment, we miss our appointment with life." Good luck, and I'll see you very soon.